Files a lawsuit claiming the city of El Cajon is illegally sharing license plate data.
State Superintendent Tony Thurmond is in San Diego today talking about improved test scores they're seeing in the San Diego Unified School District.
The demand to help with groceries for military families who recently moved to San Diego.
And we're live from La Mesa Oktoberfest, more and all the fun you can have this weekend. Prost!
And I'll tell you about a local organization working to improve the lives of kids in foster care and how you can help.
The Malahelix Park has been restoring the native habitat here for over a dozen years, and they're almost at 95%.
National University shares its first original anthem ever for students they call
Anders! CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
We begin tonight with the state of California suing El Cajon, accusing the city of sharing license plate reader data with other states. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The state attorney general says it's illegal, and the information could end up being used by immigration enforcement.
But as CBS 8's David Goffson reports, the mayor of El Cajon argues that the data sharing is perfectly legal.
The city of El Cajon and its police department have refused to comply with this law.
At a news conference Friday in San Diego, State Attorney General Rob Bonta said El Cajon has been illegally sharing automated license plate reader data for more than a year with outside agencies in 23 other states. This despite ongoing efforts from his office to get El Cajon to stop.
Let me just be clear about that. The ALPR data collected in California cannot be shared with federal or out-of-state agencies.
Bonta says once the data leaves the state, it can be used by the federal government, which is also against state law.
Whether that's for immigration enforcement, surveillance of protesters, tracking individuals traveling here for reproductive care or gender-affirming care, and other purposes that could fringe on constitutional rights.
El Cajon Mayor Bill Wells told me the state's lawsuit is entirely political.
We've had our troubles in differences of opinion with the state of California.
He says the El Cajon Police Department shares the data to fight crime, not for immigration enforcement.
We understand that we're not allowed to share with federal agencies, and we have not. But the law is not clear at all about sharing with police departments from other cities or other states.
The California law in question, SB 34, was passed 10 years ago and states, quote, a public agency shall not sell, share, or transfer license plate reader information except to another public agency. And public agency means the state, any city, county, or political subdivision of the state. Exactly what that language means will now be up to a judge to decide. The lawsuit was filed here in San Diego Superior Court. It seeks a permanent injunction prohibiting the city of El Cajon from sharing license plate data with out-of-state agencies. At the downtown courthouse, David Goffredson, CBS 8.
Thanks, David. Reading and math test scores in the San Diego Unified School District are improving, according to new data just released by the district.
As CBS 8's Kelly Hessdahl reports, State Superintendent Tony Thurmond paid a visit to a Logan Heights school today to talk about what they've discovered.
State Superintendent Tony Thurmond chose to visit Burbank Elementary today because it's a school that is making some really big gains. Now, district-wide, they're seeing improvements of 1 to 2 percentage points in math and reading test scores. But here at Burbank, they're seeing even bigger progress.
I can tell you that the growth in math and reading has been dramatic and is higher than most places in the state. And so students are achieving and they're excelling. And in many ways, they're doing better than their more affluent peers. And so it's impressive to see.
And the state superintendent visited with students today. He read them a book, got to know them. Now, in terms of test scores, what was explained during a news conference is, yes, there's this statewide assessment test that looks at is your student where he or she needs to be for their grade level? Are they proficient? And again, there were 1 to 2 percentage point improvements for reading and math district-wide. But the dramatic increase that the state superintendent is referring to is students who started out on a different playing field. Maybe they're refugees who don't speak English, or maybe English isn't their first language. The district and the state track their progress too, and for that population, they have seen really big gains. At Burbank specifically, they've seen percentage point gains of anywhere from 20 to 30 percentage points in reading and math. One strategy the San Diego Unified Superintendent says that's working is teachers are really following the data.
Where are the students, and have they accelerated, or do they need intervention? Because you have both, right? You have the children that are super high and continue moving. We still need to continue to accelerate them, but we also have the children that we need to intervene. And what I've seen teachers do is they look at the data according to student names and then start to say, okay, you take these 10 students while I take these 5, and we'll share the hour.
And so she says it's this collaboration between teachers that's really helping to make a difference. Now, we know that the state of California has invested historic amounts of money in public education. So I asked the state superintendent, is that what's making the big difference? And he said, you know, money is certainly an important part of this, but he says it's also about leadership at the district level down to the classroom. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
Thanks, Kelly. And parents will no longer face fines or jail time if their children miss too much school here in California. Governor Gavin Newsom just signed a law that shifts the focus from punishment to programs aimed at reducing absenteeism. Previously, if a child was truant, parents and guardians faced a year in jail or a fine up to $2,000. A fire that erupted at a Chevron refinery in LA County has been contained after burning overnight. A large explosion was reported at the refinery in El Segundo just before 10 last night, with a fireball lighting up the night sky you saw just there. No injuries were reported and no evacuations were ordered. The fire burned for about 9 hours before it was extinguished this morning. This refinery is a critical part of California's fuel supply, providing 20% of the state's motor vehicle fuel and 40% of its jet fuel. Energy analysts say that gas prices could rise because of this fire, because California is largely cut off from refineries in the Midwest and Gulf Coast.
The San Diego Humane Society is continuing to deal with an overcrowding crisis, and it really needs your help. As of today, they have nearly 2,000 animals in their care, including 784 dogs and 945 cats. The Humane Society has had to create makeshift kennels inside of warehouses and double up existing kennels to make more space, adding to what is an already stressful environment for the animals.
A lot harder to keep animals healthy when there's overcrowding. It's not a good place for an animal to be for an extended period of time.
The Humane Society is pleading for people to adopt. Right now, fees for adult dogs and cats are $50. More than 2 million ballots for next month's special election are being mailed out to San Diego County voters. Voters can expect to receive their ballots by next week. But the county says some people can expect them as early as this weekend. Voters will weigh in on Prop 50. That's an amendment to the state constitution related to redistricting. Voters in Poway will also be asked whether or not to recall District 2 City Council member Tony Blaine just 3 months into his term over allegations that include bribery, threats, and misuse of law enforcement. The uncertainty around the government shutdown is driving up demand for military family assistance.
The need comes during Blue Star Families Welcome Week, an effort to help relocated military families restock essentials they've had to leave behind. CBS 8's Abby Black shows us the impact on local military families.
Blue Star Families and Instacart bagged these 150 food kits to help military families who recently moved to San Diego. Organizers say that the demand surged because of the uncertainty around the government shutdown. For families stretched thin, this is more than just groceries. It's relief.
Welcome to San Diego. Thank you.
A warm welcome from Blue Star Families for military families new to San Diego.
Thank you guys so much. This helps so much. We just came from Virginia.
But behind the smiles can be a real financial strain.
And we found through our research that 1 in 4 struggle to put food on the table.
Blue Star Families is the nation's largest nonprofit serving military families, and they say the shutdown made things harder. They had already planned this Fill the Fridge event, but extended registration after demand spiked.
And the real concern is the October 15th paycheck. And so families are realizing that they need to stretch the money that they received this past week.
Each reusable bag holds essentials. You have spaghetti sauce, condiments.
I like milk.
even books for kids.
A story about a girl.
Petty Officer First Class Ashley Colbreth and her husband both serve in the Navy. While the shutdown has not impacted them yet, they're preparing. They have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old to feed.
Fortunately, we have not, and I'm thankful every day for that, but we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, with pepperoni and the cheese.
For Colbreth, she knows the drill. This is her 3rd duty station.
No matter what the rank is, no matter what branch, we all need a little help sometimes. A grocery bill that may have been $100 last year is like $150, $200 this year. So any little bit does help.
These are not just bags of food, it's building a community.
I'm a military spouse, and we moved 15 times within my husband's career, and community was vital.
Blue Star Families says donations are welcome as they continue supporting military families beyond this event.
I'm a military spouse, and we moved 15 times within my husband's career, and community was vital.
A true San Diego welcome.
No, thank you so much. Y'all have a lovely day.
You too.
For families who need it most.
Thank you so much.
At the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Thanks. San Diego is putting down new roots today, literally.
Mayor Todd Gloria joined students and community members at Encanto Community Park to plant 20 trees. It's part of a citywide program called Ready, Set, Grow.
Bottom line is this is about stronger neighborhoods. And so those 5,000 or so trees over those 2 years means that we're strengthening neighborhoods all across San Diego.
The U.S. Forest Service awarded a $10 million grant for the 5-year program that focuses on making low-income neighborhoods greener and cooler by planting and protecting thousands of trees.
A major breakthrough in negotiations to end the war in Gaza. That story is still ahead.
Also coming up, the Senate tries once again to pass a bill to reopen the government as the shutdown stretches into a 3rd full day.
And the La Mesa Oktoberfest is happening now. We're live. We'll take a look at all the fun this weekend.
Lots of sunshine in the forecast for this afternoon. We're starting to see those clouds rolling right back in as we go from tonight all the way through tomorrow. But what does the weekend have in store? I'll have all those details coming up.